You're listening to Clearview Today with Dr. Abidan Shah, the daily show that engages mind and heart for the gospel of Jesus Christ. I'm Ryan Hill.
I'm John Galantis. Welcome to another great week here in the Clearview Today studio. We got lots of great conversations on the books for you guys today. But before we do any of that, we want to start the week off right and introduce our host, Dr. Abidan Shah, who is a PhD in New Testament textual criticism, professor at Carolina University, author, full-time pastor, and the host of today's show. Dr. Shah, welcome to the studio. Here we go. There it is.
Too many things are happening. Too many things are happening.
We're just starting off the week right. It's so good to see you.
Air horn, applause, majestic
the drum roll
flies overhead.
That's
drum roll.
right. Hey, listen, it's a
confetti cannon.
It's a new week. Today's a new day. Maybe it was a tough weekend for you guys, but guess what? Today's a chance to start over.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Well, just a reminder for you guys as we're getting started. Make sure you guys, if you're not already, go over to pray.com, one of the fastest growing platforms for Christian content, and follow Dr. Abidan Shah on pray.com. You know, one of the greatest things about pray.com is that it's, number one, it's available in the palm of your hand on your smartphone. It's also a place where you can get a piece of content from Clearview Church, from Dr. Shah, every day of the week.
Did this mug just say every single
day?
I don't believe it. I can't believe it.
Monday through Friday, you get to hear the radio show.
Clearview Today show. That's what you're listening to now.
Saturday, you get the devotional, The Lighthouse, that drops with Dr. Shah. And then on Sundays, of course, you hear Dr. Shah's messages.
That's crazy. That's
every
crazy.
day of the week.
Oh, wow. Every single day of the week.
Every day of the week. And it's free. You can access content. And there's things available on Pray that aren't available anywhere else.
That's true. That's true. Pray has a lot of exclusive content. And we just announced at the end of the last show on Friday of last week that we are about to start a month of Pray Radio. If you guys like that, you can leave comments. You can leave testimonials on Pray and let them know, hey, we want Dr. Abidan Shah on Pray Radio more. It's going to be a big thing, man. Y'all's testimonials, and people are leaving a lot of testimonials on Pray. You guys don't know how powerful those are. That lets the people over at Pray and our team know that you want to see more of that content. Or should I say hear more of that content.
Dr. Shah, how exciting has it been for you to see the response of people from pray.com?
Oh, very much. We've been having these messages on for a long time on YouTube and Facebook and here and there, different places on our website. But to now have them on pray.com and to see the engagement from the people, it has been nothing short of the work of God.
Amen.
God has been drawing people in. People are responding. They are asking us questions. They are supporting. And if you haven't supported, please support. If God lays on your heart to help us in this ministry, in this endeavor, our goal here is not profit in the sense of just sitting here with money. Our goal is to keep expanding the message. If these messages are touching your life, if these shows are helping you on a daily basis, support so that we can help others
100%
also hear these messages.
Anybody out of we're approaching 60,000 followers. That means 60,000 people have chosen to respond with a follow because these messages and these shows have touched your life. It's because somebody else gave, so it's only right that we give as well. It's the way that we show our obedience.
That's right.
Guys, being Monday morning, I did want to ask you guys about some financial benefits that I have for you guys.
Oh, wow.
It's $1 Million Monday. Dr. Shah, I want to ask you, you're a coffee drinker, right? You like coffee and tea, but primarily I see you drink coffee. I'm going to give you $1 million, but for every cup of coffee you drink, there's a 5% chance that you will teleport somewhere randomly in the world.
Wow. So wait. So every
cup of coffee you drink, you basically roll a celestial D20 dice.
Okay, but it was only 5% chance.
5% chance. So
I will be somewhere else.
You will never
random.
You will never teleport to the ocean. You'll always teleport to like a place. Like it might be Paris, it might be Brussels, India.
No, why not? Why not to the ocean? Like
because it's just like how would you get home? You'll die.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's not like drop into the ocean.
No,
you won't teleport somewhere that's dangerous to you. You'll just wind up in a
you won't teleport
locale.
like to the top of Mount Everest. It'll be like somewhere that you could feasibly.
And I get $1 million.
But every cup of coffee. So basically, let's say you get a cup of coffee and roll a 20-sided dice. If you roll a 1, that's 5%, right? If you roll a 1, you teleport somewhere randomly in the world, and it's up to you. It's like up to you to get home.
I don't know.
I've been really
because that really will throw off my schedule because I have so many things to do.
Oh yeah.
All of a sudden I'm like in Spain, which is great, but now I have to find a way back and get a ticket and all that stuff.
Someone calls you and they're like, "Hey, Dr. Shah, are we still on for our 3:00 appointment?" And you're like, unfortunately,
I'm so sorry. I'm in the Swiss Alps. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to make it.
Yeah, that would be tough.
Yeah.
I just saw you this morning. Right.
I'm
right.
trying.
I've
been really trying to find one that you wouldn't say yes to. Do you think this is an official turn down, or could you make it work?
I don't know if I can make it work.
You could just give up coffee.
Ew.
But I mean, how does that work?
You just don't drink coffee anymore, and then there's never any chance that you'll teleport anywhere. Because it's every cup of coffee you drink.
But you have to drink coffee.
No, you don't have to.
You could conceivably take the $1 million and just
you
give
could
up
just
coffee.
take the $1 million and just give up coffee.
Oh well,
But it's only 5%. So like if you're at a Denny's or something, they're like, "Would you like a cup of coffee?" You're like, "I could probably get away with it."
5% is still not zero.
yeah, it's still a lot there. Yeah, if it's like giving up coffee, I can give up coffee if I wanted to. I don't want to, but I could give up coffee and then to keep the $1 million.
Do you think there's any part of you that would look at your schedule and be like, today seems like a pretty easy day? Maybe I'll teleport somewhere nice. Maybe I'll teleport to like Hawaii or something.
But this doesn't work like that because now I have to find my way back, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, once you teleport
so
there.
it's not a day thing anymore. Yeah, it's going to take me a whole week to get back.
Get back home.
What if there are no flights?
What if they serve you coffee on the plane?
Then I'm gone again somewhere.
So is that an official no?
I would have to turn down because I have so many responsibilities, especially preaching and teaching at Clearview.
Yeah.
So on the weekends I have to be here. So what if I drink
coffee between services?
In between services, you just
I'm gone.
You do drink coffee between services.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah,
that would not be good.
Would you do
Or
it?
I drink it on Saturday and I'm gone until next Wednesday.
Do you think you could just switch to tea indefinitely? Just indefinitely switch to tea? David said drink Monster.
I would drink tea. Yeah.
There's no way in the world Dr. Shaw's going to drink Monster.
No, I don't drink Monster.
No, don't do it.
And nothing but Monsters. It's just that it gets your heartbeat up, and I've seen people going crazy drinking those things.
Oh, I drank in college. I would drink 3 or 4 a day. A day.
Wow.
And I laid down one night. I don't think I've ever told the story on the show before, but I laid down one night and my heart was beating so hard and so fast. I was scared. I was crying. I called my mom and I said, "Mom, I don't know what I've done." She was like, "Hey, don't do that, son. Don't do that." And I remember praying and I said, "Lord, if you're
real, help
for
me."
real." I said, "If you will see me through tonight,
please.
I will never drink another Monster as long as I live." And I haven't.
You never drank again?
No, I drank the coffees. I don't anymore, but after that I started drinking the Monster coffees. They don't have nearly the caffeine and the taurine and all that stuff. But a Monster energy drink, no, I've never drank another one.
Well,
Since that. I made a deal with the Lord. Yeah. It cured me, yeah. Don't drink Monster, guys.
Don't. PSA, don't drink Monster. Our verse today is coming from Joshua 1:8. This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate in it day and night, that you may observe to do according to all that is written in it. For then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success.
So we wanted to read this as the verse of the day because we got a check-in from someone who wrote to us. No, they're not a new believer. They've rededicated their life to Christ. But this is a check-in from someone over in Texas. A lot of our check-ins come from Texas. I didn't realize, but we have a huge audience in Texas. Hi, Dr. Shah. They didn't leave their name. I've recently rededicated my life to Christ, and lately I've been trying to stay consistent with my morning devotionals, but I feel like I'm not really getting anything out of them. I read and I pray, but as soon as I head into the day, it's like I forget everything. I don't feel like I'm retaining the wisdom or carrying it with me, and by lunchtime, it feels like I never spent time with God at all. Is this normal? Am I doing something wrong? How do I keep that spiritual insight alive throughout the day instead of just in the morning?
I get that question a lot because people feel like if I just read the Bible, all my problems will just dissipate. I would have just a wonderful, sunshiny day. But it doesn't happen that way. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you forget. Sometimes bad things happen. Sometimes you make bad choices. Sometimes you sin, even after you've done a devotion.
Right.
So how do you get back in back in line and start living a Christian life? One thing is to realize that devotions or meditating on God's word is not a cure-all for the trials of life. This is not going to somehow protect you and fend off all the attacks of the evil one. Yes, problems will still come. Meditation helps you to keep your head in the midst of the struggles.
Yes, that's true.
It helps you to stay focused. It helps you to turn to God. That's the most important thing when it comes to the benefit of meditation on the Word of God or devotional time, is to help you turn to God and not just do what comes natural.
That's true. Because it says you will meditate in it day and night, that you may observe it. So if we're just meditating, but we're not actually doing the things that Scripture tells us to do.
That's true, yeah.
I feel like I've been there where I've like done devotions and then gone throughout my day. And if someone asked me what my devotional was that morning, I was like, oh man.
I can't even remember.
I don't even think I can remember. I know I did it.
Yeah.
Well, to begin with, what is meditation? What is devotion? Meditation is a time you set aside to read God's Word and reflect upon it. Mm-hmm. When you do that, it allows God to speak to you. Prayer is you speaking to God. Meditation is God speaking to you.
That's a great way to look at it. Yeah.
And meditation does not happen in a vacuum. It happens through the Word of God. So right now, in my personal devotional time, I'm reading through the book of Isaiah in the Old Testament. And I'm reading through 2 Thessalonians, from 1 Timothy in the New Testament. Mm-hmm. So I'm reading these two books of one of the old, another one of the new, simultaneously, or one after the other during my devotional time. In Isaiah today, I was reading, and just trying to make sure I remember correctly, I was reading on how Jerusalem was such a sinful city. Mm-hmm. It was supposed to be a righteous place, but unfortunately it had become a sinful city and God's judgment was upon it. Mm-hmm. And that's what Isaiah was telling the people. Mm-hmm. So it made me think about where we are as a nation. We are supposed to be a righteous nation, but because of sin, we have become unrighteous. So it helps me look at what's happening in our world through the lens of Scripture and go, okay, this happened before. This has happened with God's people. Mm-hmm. It is happening with us right now. Mm-hmm. What is the solution? We need to turn to God. Mm-hmm. What is the solution? We don't need to get disillusioned, but turn to God. So that helped me from the Old Testament.
Right.
And I think about that for a little bit. When I went to the New Testament, that's a little harder to remember. But if I'm not wrong, I was reading about how Paul was telling Timothy to remember his calling. Mm-hmm. And I had to remind myself, that God gave me a calling in life, calling to number one, be a good husband, calling to be a good dad, calling to be a good pastor, calling to be a leader in the community, calling to be a good academic. These are some of the callings that God has given to me. Mm-hmm. And I shouldn't forget that. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes when problems come in life, situations happen, unexpected trials come, we tend to lose sight. And we get disillusioned, we get disheartened, we get discouraged, and we start to drift away, or we just kind of just exist. Mm-hmm. We just begin to exist.
Yeah.
And sometimes we even become cynical. Sometimes we lose hope, we lose faith. We don't know if God is working. What is God doing? I don't know what He's doing. Mm-hmm. Is He even real? Is all this just a dream of some psychopath somewhere,
right?
That we're existing in. What if all this is just an illusion? Mm-hmm. And then when I come back to the truth, which is, don't forget your calling. These things happen. Stay focused. Okay, yes, Lord. Yeah. And I get back on track, and then I'll find out, everything is fine.
Right.
Is there a reason that you are in Isaiah and 1 Timothy? Now, did you pick those books specifically in response to something going on, or were they just sort of like next in line of a greater plan that you're going through?
Well, for quite some time, I was reading in different books like Genesis and Exodus, because where we are preaching, mm-hmm. I want to stay close to those passages about God calling Abraham to follow Him and all that. Mm-hmm. Because we're going to be doing a series on the role of Israel in end times prophecy. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about ethnic Israel.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So I decided to move away from that. I finished reading those passages. I said, you know what? Let me go to Isaiah, because I haven't read through Isaiah in quite some time. I would say a couple of years. Mm-hmm. I've read portions here and there, but not comprehensively.
That's a complete work, yeah.
So I'm going to, that's the reason I chose that. Mm-hmm. First Timothy is because it's been a busy summer, and summer ended, and then we were on our Greece tour, mm-hmm. came back. So I'm kind of getting back into the rhythm of things and leading the church, mm-hmm. being the pastor God has called me to be, not just a public figure or a preacher or a scholar. I also want to be a pastor. Mm-hmm. So I said, maybe I need to read 1 Timothy.
One of the areas I struggle with, and maybe you can kind of hear it, because I think this person who wrote in, or really someone, even lots of people might have this same struggle, is I wonder if I fixate too much on getting the answer. Let me find the application to this. And so I can tell you what I mean. Yesterday, I've started doing my devotions in the morning, listening. I listen to them on Pray with my son. As I'm taking him to school, we listen. So yesterday was John 15. We listened to all of John 15. And the whole, I am the vine, you are the branches. If you're not in me, you can do nothing on your own. That's a pretty self-evident application. Today, it was John 5. And so it's where the man can't get into the pool of healing by himself. And Jesus helps him, and then he goes and tells the people, the Jewish leaders get mad at Jesus for working on the Sabbath. And then the rest of it is Jesus' response, like, hey, you've always hated, if you hate me, you hate the Father. And he talks about how this relationship between the two. I struggled on the way home trying to find out how do I use this today? Because I understand, at least to a discernible degree, the relationship between the Son and the Father. I don't feel like I hate the Son or hate the Father, and I'm not constantly looking for signs. And the man that goes into the pool, I'm not sure how this relates to me. So a lot of the drive home where I was trying to meditate on it was just, Lord, what is this? How do I use this today? Is that a good way to do devotion?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That is it. I mean, meditation means just thinking on that and letting God speak to you.
I was going to say, is it okay if you don't arrive at an answer by the time you stop your devotion?
Yeah, I mean, that's many times God takes me down a different path, and that path is more applicable to where I am in my journey as a family man, or as a church man, or as an academic. Somewhere God is speaking to me,
right?
And that's where some of my thoughts come in, and it may have nothing to do with the passage I read. Like for you, it was the man who was paralytic, but it will help you understand something else about a song that you're writing, or a radio show that we're going to do. You know, so God takes you down a different path.
Gotcha.
And that's perfectly fine. Many times, that's how it works for me.
Yeah.
I start out here, and then before I know it, I'm on a whole different point. But when I look back, I realize, yes, that's exactly what I needed. Even though the Genesis was here, God knew the intended end, and He supernaturally guided me to that point.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you do practically that you can share with the readers that are readers, the listeners, those who are reading the transcript of the show, I guess, that you do to help yourself stay focused during that meditation time? Because I know for myself, if I'm sitting thinking, I'll stay focused for a little bit, but then my mind starts to wander, and I start thinking about this thing, and I start thinking about that, and I've lost the original concept of like asking God, like, how do I apply this to my life?
So I always have a devotional book with me, or some kind of a book which is not directly connected to what I'm preaching or what paper I'm writing, anything like that. This is just a book that I'm reading because I want to read it. And it has to be a Christian, Bible-focused, Jesus-centered book. It cannot just be like I'm reading on How to Break Bad Habits by a secular author, or How to Be a Better Leader by some secular author. It could be a book on bad habits. It could be a book on leadership, but it has to come from a Christian worldview. It has to come from a Christian biblical foundation.
Right.
So the book I'm reading right now is a book on stress. Not because I'm stressed out or anything, but I came across this book. It's written by Gaius Davis, who was at one time kind of like a Surgeon General of the United Kingdom.
Wow.
Yeah, he was, the Surgeon General. Like he's like the main medical voice for the nation. We've had one. There's one right now for the United States. Gaius Davis was a Christian man, and he was a medical doctor, and he was the Surgeon General for United Kingdom. And he wrote a book back in the late 80s on stress and on counseling and on depression and things like that. I hadn't planned on reading that book, but I saw someone quote from that book, and I was like, that's interesting. And I looked at some of the people who had recommended that book, and I said, maybe one day I'm going to get it. And so I put it in my Amazon cart. And then I would say maybe a couple of months ago, I was going through my cart and I was like, oh, that book. you know what? I'm going to go again and get it. And I got it.
How many books do you think are sitting in your cart right now?
I would say hundreds.
Wow.
Hundreds of books. I mean,
I would love to see the potential price tag on your Amazon cart.
well, they're not in the cart. They're in the archive.
The wish list?
Wish list.
Got you.
Yeah, so they sit there. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to get it. And I got it. And then it was sitting by the dining table where I sit and do my studies. And when my last devotional book ended, I was like, why not?
Yeah.
Because sometimes I can get stressed out over things. So I picked it up and I began to read it. And initially, of course, you're going through the foreword written by different people. Like J.I. Packer wrote the foreword to that book. So I was like, okay, all right. Got into the book. It was not a book just on like stress. It was a book on depression. It is a book on depression and how we can help people going through depression. And I was like, well,
that came out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, it came, and because lately we have seen people in our circle of influence face depression to the point of taking their own life.
That's true.
And some of you know about that. There was not a person here at church, but he was in our community. And very sad, very tragic, heartbreaking. And so here I'm reading this book. And how interestingly, this is how God works. So if you don't believe that there is a God, there is a God. One of my friends or church members contacted me and said he wanted to start a support group for people going through depression. And so I was like, okay. And I mean, what are the chances that I picked up this book thinking it's about stress,
right?
But it's really about depression and how the church needs to understand people going through depression and how real it can be, even if you're a Christian, and it's not a product of sin.
Right.
He used the example of William Cooper. I know people say Cowper, but it's really William Cooper. Last year, which is 2024, I went to Olney, England, where William Cooper and John Newton lived. John Newton was the pastor of the church where William Cooper was, and together they wrote many songs. And I mean, John Newton wrote Amazing Grace. William Cooper, wrote many, many songs, and that became the Olney hymns. And so Gaius Davis talks about Cooper's battle with depression. And why do you think it happened? And, there are a lot of suggestions. Maybe John Newton was too hard on him or this and that. Who knows?
Right.
And Gaius says, no, that's not why he went to depression. He went to depression because he was built that way.
Yeah.
Or he went through things in his life early on that caused it. But how interesting that as I'm reading the devotional, somebody in the community dies and is very tragic because of depression. And then a person in the church who did not know about the somebody dying in the community, because when he called me, I told him, I said, there's a young person who took his life because he was so depressed, discouraged. And he's like, really? Who? And so I had to explain to him who that person was.
Right.
So completely unconnected and yet connected by God.
So if you're not doing your devotions, there are ways and avenues that God is trying to work that you're missing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
If you're not taking that time, especially in the morning, if you're not taking that time to sit down and do these things, you're going to miss those. Like God will still get his will done, but you're going to miss out.
Exactly. 100%. And I hope people understand that. That's why we're talking about this, because how crazy it is that I'm picking up a book and reading by accident and things happen in our community, and then things happen with a person who wants to start. So now we have a support group for those going through depression, and set to start in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
On a Tuesday night.
Which that opens up a larger conversation too about, if you want to, people talk all the time, I want to know God's will for my life. I want to make sure I'm in God's will. Well, start taking little right steps.
Right.
Start taking small right steps and trust that God, if you are in a right relationship with him, trust that he's going to put your feet on the path that you need to follow.
That's right.
Instead of being paralyzed, like, which choice do I make? Which choice do I make? Trust that God is going to help you make the right one.
And I think one of the things that people may take for granted is that time of meditation, that time of doing nothing. I think we're so preoccupied with getting the day going, getting started, is that we don't allow that time. Like we will do the devotion and then immediately move on to something else. But, and I don't know where that comes from. Maybe it's this idea that if we're sitting down and thinking, it's wasting time. I don't know where it comes from, but do you find that time of just sitting there and just allowing your mind to think, I mean, I'm sure at this point in your life, it doesn't feel like wasted time to you, but did you ever struggle with it?
Yes. I don't know if I struggle with it because I always would take the time to think. And I learned that from like Michael Hyatt. You know, he's a leadership expert. And in one of his podcasts years ago, I heard him say, take the time to think. Just sit there and think. And I was like, I do that. And it helps me. It helps me think about the organization or the church. It helps me think about my work that I'm doing. Helps me think about the impact I'm making in the community. Helps me think about family issues and where is God working. So that time of 30, 40 minutes, sometimes it gets longer, and it's not because I'm trying to. It just, there are other things coming to my mind. And at one time I used to journal, and I need to go back to doing that because I haven't done that in quite some time just because of the busyness of life, but I'm going to go back to doing that again.
Yeah.
And it was very helpful.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things that I've learned that helped me is like taking that time. You don't do that because you're privileged. A lot of people think, well, it's good that you have the time to sit there and just reflect, but I don't have that kind of time. But you really do. Everybody's got the same amount.
I don't have that time either.
Right.
I mean, I get up in the morning, then I go work out. I mean, of course, devotion and then work out, but I could go work out earlier.
Yeah.
If I didn't have to read the Bible, pray, and spend time reading a devotional book and thinking and meditating and praying, I could just leave quickly. I would save good 2 hours. But those 2 hours will cost me heavily somewhere.
Right. That's exactly it.
Point, is that it will be costlier on the other side if you don't take that time.
Yeah, taking the time to meditate is not a position of privilege. That's one of the bare minimum. That's one of the not bare minimum. That's the foundational thing that's going to set your day on the way that God
Absolutely.
100%. Well, guys, make sure you join us next time, same station. We're going to be diving into another great topic here on the Clearview Today Show. Thanks again to our sponsors, LeBlue Ultra Pure Water and Mighty Muscadine for making today's episode possible. Don't forget that you can support us by subscribing to the show on iTunes. Pray.com, we talked about Pray.com at the top of the episode. Make sure you guys have downloaded the app and that you're following Dr. Abidan Shah on Pray.com. We're closing in on 60,000.
Yes, we're getting there. We're getting close. Thank you guys for following. We very, very much appreciate it. We appreciate all of your financial support. We appreciate all of just your verbal support, all of you guys who are leaving testimonials. It's very important to let Pray know what you like and what you don't like because they are listening. We meet with these guys at least, I would say, a couple of times a month. We talk to them, and I promise you, if you're on any platform at all, they are listening to what you have to say. So let them know, hey, we love Dr. Abidan Shah. We want to see more of that content. I promise you, they'll bring it to you.
That's right. And if you'd like to support the show financially, if God's laid it on your heart to do that, you can do so at abidanshah.com/give. And we're grateful for your partnership in getting the message of the gospel to as many people as possible. John, what do you want to close with today?
Just want to say lots of great things are coming down the pipeline. We are working on it. One of them that we can't talk about is Dr. Shah's book, 30 Days of Seeing Christ in Judges. That's going to be coming out later in the fall. We are in the heavy editing stages right now. Want to make sure that everything is just as perfect as it can be for you guys, but it's going to be a great 30-day devotional and the start of something new for our 30-day series where we walk through individual books of the Bible. We got a couple of new shows that we're going to be talking about very soon. We might be doing them exclusive on Pray, or we may release them to the general public through iTunes, Apple, all that stuff, but we will definitely let you guys know when they're ready.
That's right. We love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow on Clearview Today.